previous years, Heroic have been around and near the top of CSGO, but is it time for you guys to take the next step?
I mean, we're always hoping to improve in Heroic. We also know that the last 2 years has been full of surprises, to say the least. And I think with more stability surrounding the team, we're hoping to be even more consistent and to reach higher peaks. I think that the lineup that you see here on your screen is having the potential to do even more than we already have done. And I mean, we can talk a lot about what we want to do and how we want to do it, but we also just need to continue showing the good results. I think that last year, the 2 arena events we were top 4 in both. That I'm really proud of, considering that many questioned our ability to perform on LAN. So making top 4 at the 2 arena events, I think, was a really good job. And I'm just super excited. This is the first tournament of the year, and we have Stown back. And I mean, I definitely think we can go super far this year. But there's also a lot of contenders. I mean, I think the fun part about this year is that everyone is talking about all other teams in Heroic, and I think that can be very beneficial to us.
You mentioned yourself that these superstar teams like G2, Vitality, FaZe, all making these big roster moves. Do you think you can go under the radar and top them in the rankings and in the big tournaments?
Yeah, that's the plan, to outplay them and to go further than them in the tournaments. I also think that the stability and the fact that we have had many experiences together as a team and as a group is something that can be very beneficial throughout the year. We have a wide map pool, and some of the maps we haven't really been able to show for the last couple of months, but we're very eager to show that we can play many maps and play them very well. And I think that's always one of the issues with new teams, right? Building that kind of map pool from scratch at times can be super difficult. So time will tell. I think many people said it in the past. Maybe 2022 is the most exciting year of Counter-Strike in terms of stacked teams. Yeah, I think there's still a lot of great Counter-Strike teams, and most of the good ones are still one nationality. If you look at Gambit, Na'Vi, Virtus.pro, Heroic, Astralis, like there's a lot of teams in the top 10 still who is one nationality, but you're completely right. More and more teams opt to go for the international route because there simply is so much talent available. Again, I think this is also like a question partly for the organization, like what route do you want to go? What fan base do you want to create? And do you think that the scene within your team is strong enough to take up and coming players and make them superstars? For me personally, all I can say is whether or not that the 4 players around me had a Danish nationality or not, I would play with these guys. I trust that these are the teammates that can make it very far and can win majors and be top 1 in the world. So I think the trend is still very interesting, and it's a good debate. It's a good question, but I know a lot of people are also talking about that there's yet an international team to win a major. You know, it's only been like teams with like one nationality or one language. So I think international teams still has a way to go in terms of learning a culture and accepting everyone and making it fit, but you can see that many teams, FaZe and G2 and so on, they're getting better and better, but still not better than Heroic. I mean, from my experience when playing on international teams, oftentimes the difficulty can be explaining things in the middle of the round, which is very small and detailed. But it can also be cultural things in terms of like, when I played with the Bulgarians, for example, they expect the leader to yell at you and scream at you when they make mistakes. And then the 2 other teammates I had in the team was Danish, and they expect you to talk calmly to them and explain it slowly and stuff like this. So I think there's some of the problems sometimes with the differences, but also I think it depends on the group, and it can be difficult to say, because also one of the teams where I had the best team dynamic was in Rogue in the US, and there was 1 Australian, 1 Dane, and 3 Americans, right? So yeah, all I can say is that I think it depends a lot on the structure around the teams as well, which is also why you see maybe G2 succeed a lot, because they have an organization who is good at taking care of business around them.
You're well known as a football fan. You brought the Danish jersey with you for the IEM Cologne. Also, I saw that you played football with team before the Stockholm matches. And could you please tell us more about your hobby, and also you're a FIFA player as well, as I remember.
Yeah, I think football plays a big part in not only like my life, but the entire team. It actually goes kind of back to the previous questions about like team dynamics and stuff. We play this game, like all of us together, which is called Gris, and directly translated it means pig, like the oink oink, the you know. And basically it's a game of where you have to juggle the ball and it must not hit the ground, and we are all playing it. And then if you're the one who is making the mistake and the ball hits the ground, you get a letter. And when you get enough letters that it makes the spelling Gris in Denmark, you lost your round. And usually what you have to do is you have to go down on your knees, and then you have to around people's legs. But we don't do it that way. We make people stand up against the fence, and then we shoot the ball at their butt, one at a time. So, I mean, yeah, you're completely right, Roman. I think like I follow football a lot, and I know that the rest of the team does as well. You can look at Stown's face in a second when we talk about how the game went yesterday with the PSG versus Real Madrid, where Stown is a big Messi fan, and I'm a big Ronaldo fan. So when Messi missed that penalty, it was not good for him.